Good morning, fourth Max students. Now we will move on to the topic construction of achievement test. Okay, construction of achievement test. That is how to conduct the achievement test. And definitely all of you learned and practically you conducted achievement test. You have learned, you know how to conduct the achievement test, and practically you conducted the achievement test. So therefore, you are well versed in conducting achievement test. Okay, that I know. Yet it is there in the syllabus, last semester syllabus. So let me revise. Okay, as you learned how to conduct the achievement test, let me theoretically revise how to conduct the achievement test. Okay, though you all know about it, yet let me revise it. Okay, so there are 6 steps in conducting an achievement test. Okay, so 6 steps, and so what are all the 6 steps? The first one is planning of a test. Okay, first one is planning of a test. Second one is preparation of a design for the test. Second one is preparation of a design for the test. Third one is preparation of the blueprint. Third one is preparation of the blueprint. Fourth one is writing of items. Fourth one is writing of items. Fifth one is preparing of the scoring key and marking scheme. Preparing of the scoring key and marking scheme. And sixth one, preparation of question wise analysis. Sixth one, preparation of question wise analysis. Okay, and actually the record you would have done all the 6 points which I have said. There are 6 points which I have said, and in the 6 points you would have done first 5 points, and I think the 6th point which I mentioned, preparation of question wise analysis, you wouldn't have done. Okay, yet you know about it. Okay, the first one is planning of the test, and you see, you already know that achievement test should be conducted on the portions which you have taught to the students. The portions which you have taught to the students, from that portion only the achievement test should be conducted. Okay, so this is the first point. In the first step, planning of the test is the portion should be based on what you have taught to the students. Okay, not even a single mark, 1 mark should not be asked from what you haven't taught to the students. And next one is what is the maximum marks and minimum, what is the maximum mark? So whether are you going to conduct the test for 100 marks or 50 marks or 25 marks or 60 marks? That you should have for that you should have a proper plan, and how long the test is going to be, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours or 3 hours, that you have to plan. And not only planning, you have to mention that on this particular day you are going to write the achievement test. Okay, that should be well informed. What is the time, how long the duration of the test, and a maximum marks, whether it is going to be 25 or 50 or 60, 75 or 100. That also you have to well informed to the students. Okay, so this is said to be planning of the test. And the second point, preparation of the design for the test. Preparation for the design for the test. That is the table which you would have written and shown to your guide professor. Okay. Preparation of the design for the test is weightage of objectives, content, difficulty level. Weightage. What kind of weightage are you going to give? Okay. So those things you know, and because already you prepared it. Okay. So weightage on weightage of content, that is prose, poetry, grammar, and essay or letter writing, composition, that you have to mention. So okay, letter writing 5 marks, prose 10 marks, 20 marks, 30 marks, poetry 20 marks, 30 marks. Okay, and its percentage that you have to mention. And then the weightage to objective, that is knowledge, understanding, analysis, evaluation, synthesis. Okay, so such kind of weightage, to what extent you are going to give to the weightage to objectives. Okay, objectives, knowledge or understanding. So this is said to be preparation of design for the test. That also you know. And then preparation of the blueprint. Okay, and that also you know, that is a table or chart. Okay, so by that others or professors will be or even other teachers or you yourself will be, as you see the blueprint, you can easily understand the weightage to content, or how many numbers of questions, and whether it is objective a question or short answer or essay type question, and everything is detailedly given in that chart. Okay, and when we compare the chart with the design of the test, that is weightage for the test, and it should be there should be a kind of tally, then only we can say that the test, the preparation of test is good. Okay, and so this is said to be a blueprint. And then the writing of items, that is question paper. Okay, so St. Joseph Higher Secondary School, time and maximum marks, part A, part B, question number 1, question number 2. And in the question paper, the teacher should have a separate question paper there the weightage of objectives, that is knowledge question, prose question, poetry question. And that kind of separate question paper the teacher should have, and when you give it to the students, that should in the bracket you should not write that it is knowledge question, this is understanding question. Such things should not be mentioned in the question paper which you give to the students. Okay, so writing items is the typical question paper. Okay. So this is a knowledge question, this is understanding question. That you should know that the student should not know these things. There is no need for those things to be learned by the students. But as a teacher, you should know these things. Okay. And then we have preparation of scoring key and marking scheme. This also you would have written in the record. Okay. But in this pandemic situation, the online classes, I do not know how many of you have written the record scoring key and marking scheme. But definitely you should write scoring key and marking scheme. Okay. See, as far as objective type is concerned, everything should be perfect. Okay. For example, who wrote Macbeth? It is William Shakespeare. Okay, everything should be correct. Okay, William Shakespeare. W capital I L L I A M S H A K E S P E A R E. Okay, the S capital, and there should be space between William and the Shakespeare. Everything should be correct. Okay, if there is even a single mistake in it, and it is wrong. In case of objective type question, this is the case. Okay, but say for example, if it is a 2-mark question, what are all the characters in Macbeth? Okay, there could be Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Duncan, Macduff, Macallum. Likewise, there are many characters. Okay, so it is a 2-mark question. So, for example, there are 10 characters, and if you have the student have written 5 characters only, then okay, the student has written 5 characters. Therefore, let me give you 1 mark. Okay, so in the marking theme, you should clearly mention if the half of the answer 5 characters are mentioned, I will give him 1 mark. And all the characters are written but with spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes. And for when this is the case, I will, if this is also the case, I will give only 1 mark or 1.5 mark or half mark. Okay. Likewise, the marking scheme should be clearly mentioned. That is, what is the answer, and to that extent, if the student gives the answer, this is the mark. The marking scheme should be clearly mentioned by the teacher. Okay, so that is said to be preparation of scoring key and marking scheme. That also you know. Okay, and then the last one, preparation of question wise analysis. Okay, this I don't know how many of you know it, and definitely I strongly believe that you wouldn't have written in the record. You wouldn't have prepared, but that is the way you prepare the question paper. Okay, that's how the question paper should be prepared. I mean, that is, you evaluate the students. You conducted the test, and after conducting the test, you evaluate the students and you marked it, and question-wise analysis. Okay, you have to write the topic as question-wise analysis, and then the table should be like this. Okay, so you have to write it as question-wise analysis. So in the first column, question number 1. And then weightage, and then content, difficulty, and students' roll number, and students' marks. So topic should be question-wise analysis, and then in that table, the first column should be a question number, weightage, content, marks, difficulty, students' roll number, students' mark. Okay, that kind of a table should be prepared by the teacher, and say for example there are let's say 50 number of questions. Okay, the table should be question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. Okay, question number 1, it is a knowledge question or understanding question, or see, this is question number 1, and so question number 1 is knowledge question, and in content column prose. Okay, so question number 1 is knowledge question, and it is prose, and for question number 1, the maximum mark is 1. Okay, difficulty level is easy. Okay, students' roll number, and students' roll number is 1, and how much marks did he get? How much marks did he get for question number 1? Okay, he gave the correct answer. Okay, 1. No, he gave the wrong answer. Okay, 0. Okay, so like this, question number 2. Question number 2 is understanding, and that is also prose, and maximum mark is 1. This is a difficult question, and for that, let's say students, let's say students' roll number. Yes, of course. student's roll number, and then question number 2. I think one more column should be mentioned, and the student's roll number and student's this student for particular one more column should be written, student's roll number, and then student's question. Okay, student's question and the answer. Okay, that also should be mentioned. So question number 2 and student's roll number, and then what is the if the student's roll number is 2 and the roll number is 2 and his name is Jawhar, for example. Okay, what Jawhar got marks in question number 1, question number 2. Okay, that another column should also be prepared, and what for that how much marks did he get. Okay, that column also should be mentioned, and when the teacher sees it, and then we can easily identify. Okay, for difficulty level of question, the students got this much marks, and for easy level of question, the students got this much marks. Even for the easy level of question, some students did not answer. So the teacher can easily identify and help the students. Okay, question student roll number 1, roll number 25, he got 0 marks. Okay, let me identify him and what are the problems. So the question number 1, he got this much mark. What is the problem? Okay, let me teach him. Likewise, the teacher can easily identify if, when he or she prepares the question-wise analysis. Okay, so it seems to be a difficult one, but theoretically that's what the teacher should do, so that and that is the purpose of conducting achievement test. Students will be easily able to improve their performance when we when we prepare question-wise analysis. Okay, so and then when the teacher conducts the test, and that also you have to when the comes under topic conducting achievement test. Okay, so okay. You all got the paper, you all got the question paper. Okay, let me leave it. Let me leave the hall. That is not responsible. That is not example for a good teacher. That is not example for a good teacher. Okay, as you conduct the test, see, I mean, as you write, you have to mention reliability and validity in conducting the test. Okay, the subtopic of the topic conducting achievement test, reliability. Okay, reliability and validity of a test. Okay, how a test gets reliability and validity. Okay, so without informing students, okay, now you write, all of you write the test. That is not the case of achievement test. That may be for diagnostic test. Okay, for diagnostic test, that's how it should be done. But in case of achievement test, you have to well inform the students. Next week, Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, you are going to write the test. Okay, this is the time, and I will give you the question paper. And the teacher should clearly mention you have to bring a pen. You yourself should bring the paper. And in case of a math subject, you yourself should bring graph paper or the geometry, compass or scale, and pencil. The teacher should clearly mention the student, inform the student. Okay, so on this particular day you should write the test, and you yourself should bring the papers, pen and pencil and the geometry box or graph paper. If you are going to give, okay, I am going to give you only question paper. You yourself should bring answer paper and graph paper. Everything you have to do it. Okay, like such thing, you yourself, the teacher should mention the students. Okay, and let's say if in maths, okay, I myself will give you the graph paper. You just bring the question paper alone. Sorry, you just bring only the answer paper or question paper. In case of university examination, the students can bring only the pen alone, pen or pencil or the geometry box. Graph paper and answer paper, the university government itself will give you. Okay, even in case of our college model exam, for that also the answer paper is given by the college. Okay, so that likewise achievement test, you yourself should well inform the students, and then you have to teachers should supervise the test in a proper way. Okay, no students can do malpractices. Okay, then only it has the it is called as reliability. Okay, nanbagatanmai ulla test artham. Okay, if you even if you supervise, if you are absent mind yourself, the students exchange their answer sheets and they copy from the book, and all the students copy each other, then the test doesn't have any validity. The purpose is completely invalid. Okay, so you have to the teacher should be responsible enough that no students can do any malpractice. Okay, that so you have to watch the students very carefully, whether the student is copying or not, or doing any malpractice or not. That the teacher should supervise the test carefully. Okay, and then another important thing is that which I already mentioned, that is what you have taught to the students, from that only you have to ask questions. Okay, so that is the important factor. Even a single mark cannot be asked from outside the portions which you haven't taught. That is important. And see, the difficulty level, let's say everything you learned, the average, the number of weightage to the average questions should be more, weightage to the easy level of questions should be less. Likewise, weightage to the difficult level of question also should be less. Okay, so 10 percentage, maximum 20 or 25. Okay, so at the same time you should give certain weightage to easy level of questions and also a difficult level of questions, and average level of questions should be more. Okay, if you simply ask only easy level of question, then also the test doesn't have any validity. Okay, and then if you ask all the questions difficult level of questions, that also the test doesn't have validity. Okay, and if you ask only the average level of question, that also the test doesn't have any validity. Okay, so this is the case. And then another important thing is that students should be given facility. Okay, so this comes under the topic reliability, and of course you all the points reliability and validity under the topic we can write. Okay, so see the say for example you are conducting a test, and all of a sudden there is power off. Okay, let's say the test should be conducted in a conducive atmosphere. The test should be conducted in a conducive atmosphere. Okay, so there should be proper light, and there should be proper ventilation. Okay, that is another thing. And if the students sweat, and if they do not have any, if they suffocate, okay, then that is also then that test also doesn't have any reliability. Okay, so make sure that our students sit comfortably, even if there is power of light should be the case. Okay, so there is enough light. For these things also the teacher is responsible. Okay, and see, often this happens. There would be one particular table, and that particular table would be shaking, and it unfortunately that disturbs the student. As he writes here, definitely it disturbs, and his performance is a little bit reduced, and that is also not fair. Okay, see, when all the students write on the table which is shaking, then they cannot give their original or perfect performance. So make sure that the table and the table light and atmosphere is conducive for the student. And in some cases, even university exam and other competitive exam, unfortunately the place where exactly I sit, there is a blaze, there is sunshine, nalla veil adikum, and I am unable to see the question paper, and but I don't have a choice. Okay, see, there is no proper reliability in conducting a university examination or competitive examination. Okay, that is not fair. Okay, when all the students are sitting comfortably and I alone sit under place and நல்ல வெயில்ல வந்து உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்கேன், and that is 3 hours sitting in place is not proper. Okay, then the supervisor, okay, it doesn't matter, you can sit here. The teacher should say, okay, so when a particular table is shaking, and the teacher should arrange that the table is not shaking. Okay, so these things should be kept in mind. Okay, what can I do? You sit under place. What can I do? The teacher, the table is shaking. The teacher should not say. That is not an example for a good teacher, and therefore the teacher should take these kinds of responsibility. Okay, so that is reliability is as you conduct the reliability and validity. The test should have the reliability and validity. That is, students should not do any malpractices. Students should be well informed about the test and what they have to bring and what they should not bring. Okay, and they should write in a conducive atmosphere. That is, there should not be any shaking of table or proper light facility or conducive the proper ventilation. For these things, the teacher should take the responsibility, and the question paper also should be asked from the portion from what the teacher has taught, and the average level of questions, the easy level of question, the objectives, knowledge, understanding, and everything should be properly balanced. Then only it is called as a good achievement test. Okay, so apart from the 6 steps of conducting the achievement test, and you have to write the topic as reliability and validity. Okay, so that's all. That's the end of the topic, conducting of construction of achievement test. Okay, thank you.